Alrighty, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us this on our first time in reading the currently the New Testament. Excuse me. I'd like to welcome everybody, and I would like to begin this with noting that I think it's important that before we join this, that we start with a moment of prayer. I'm not going to force it onto you, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a very silent to account. This will give you time to pause, say the prayer, come back, and know that you haven't missed anything if you choose to do it. If not, then you haven't waited long anyway. So here we go. All right, so hopefully we did that um, because I think it's important. I think that centering ourselves into this space is a big deal. Something that I wanted all of us to remember for later is that we have somebody within the TS family that certainly that I hang around with, um, who's having some trouble with health issues within their family, with getting a baby to stay where it needs to be, to get that bread to rise more than it currently is. And that would be Genghis Khan. Please don't forget him in your prayers today, tonight, and until the baby's born. And even then, let's keep an eye on that, because as tough as they are, babies are fragile. So, to our left, as you can see on the screen, we have the King James Version. On the right, we have the New American Standard. I'm doing it this way for the folks who might be new to the Bible and who will probably run into some difficulty with the language, kind of like what people deal with reading Shakespeare. It's a tough thing to get your brain around. So on the right, you can read things in another translation, and I think it loses something, but you know what? It really, long run, is more important that we're getting into it than it is debating on the translation abilities. So before we get started here, one last thing, there's going to be about 14 quick chapters of bookkeeping. We're going to start going through the generations, and then the story will begin. So here we go. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. And Judas begat Phares and Zara of Thamar, and Phares begat Esdrom, and Esdrom begat Aram. And Aram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Nason, and Nason begat Salmon. And Salmon begat Boaz of Rachib, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse. And Jesse begat David the king. And David the king begat Solomon, of her that had been the wife of Urias. And Solomon begat Robam, and Robam begat Abiah, and Abiah begat Asa. And Asa begat Jehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias, and Ozias begat Jotham, and Jotham begat Achiz, and Achiz begat Ezekias, and Ezekias begat Manassas, and Manassas begat Ammon, and Ammon begat Josias. And Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren about the time that they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zorobabel, and Zorobabel begat Abid, and Abid begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, and Azor begat Sadok, and Sadok begat Achim, and Achim begat Eliud, and Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Manhattan, and Manhattan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So all of the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations, and from David until the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations, and from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14 generations. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily. But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he saves his people from their sins. Now all of this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son. They shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is, God with us. Then Joseph, being raised from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord had bidden him, and took unto him his wife. And he knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus. We'll now continue on to chapter 2. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, art not the least among the princes of Judea? For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, and frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt. And there, until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all of the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted, because they are not. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeareth in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. And he arose, and he took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go thither. Notwithstanding, being warned of God in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene. I think all of the that it might be fulfilled comments are fascinating to me, because honestly, it's a fulfilling of prophecy. We are living in a time of fulfillment of prophecy, and it's really important that all of us are paying attention and listening, um, and waiting, so that we can understand the things that we're supposed to be doing. I think it's important for us to get closer to the gospel, and closer, um, as children, to our to God, to the Lord. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody for giving this a shot. I look forward to being able to do it again. And all of you, have yourself a really great day. We won't see you until Monday.